agenda. Because even in the holistic health field that I'm in, when I start talking about this technology, people think you're crazy. And then when you mention that it's demonic and it comes from Satan, there's a lot of practitioners like, oh, I don't, don't use that name. It's like, okay, well, if you don't want to hear the truth, I don't know how we can help you. But yeah, he's alive, he's real, and he does have technology out there. And these scientists don't know what they're doing. And if we don't understand that, you can't understand nanotech. Because people go back and say, well, how can it be this advanced? And I'm like, because man didn't invent it. This is very ancient technology that has been brought back. It's way more advanced than what we are or how we think. And it's so evil, most people have a hard time thinking that something this bad could be out there. Like, well, who would make this stuff? Well, Satan.
Right.
It's not just like some bad guy in some room who came up with these ideas. This is him putting out his technology through people who are willing to listen and move forward with these programs. But I would say 99% of the people in this field have no clue what the technology is they're messing with. And the other part on this is people have this misunderstanding on, things happening intentionally. And I think maybe before 2020, people thought I was crazy. But after that, I think now people realize, no, there absolutely is an agenda here. And they absolutely are creating these issues. So you look at it and go, why would they be spraying and contaminating everything in the environment? Wouldn't these bad guys be poisoning themselves? I think people need to understand that's why the agenda of the Nephilim is so important, because guess what? They already have mixed and mingled seed. They're trying to corrupt the real seed, which is us. It's just like you look out in the field and what do you see? You see these genetically modified organisms. They have built-in technology to be resistant to all the pesticides.
Wow.
So they can spray pesticides and kill the real food, but it doesn't touch the GMO food. Well, they're the same thing. They don't mind spraying themselves because they're already altered. They just want to alter everyone else. So when you start seeing this picture, you start getting a better understanding of why would these people be doing something so crazy? And aren't they affecting themselves? They don't care. They're already changed. They just want to change us. So I think that's a big piece for people to understand.
That's a huge piece for us to understand. I hadn't considered it in that light. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Dr. Sanger, did you want to speak to that also?
Well, I'm having epiphanies as he's speaking, just thinking about, I talk about parasites as well. The Lord kind of led me down that trail about 6 months ago. And, these parasites really have these mind control properties to them. And just like you were saying earlier, you would rename some of these pathogens Nephilim bugs. Well, very much I'm in agreement with that as well, because we can see how, this Nephilim agenda is just, the technology is so far advanced. And, I think that's where that people have a lot of cognitive dissonance, is like, well, how can this stuff exist? Just like you were saying, Dr. Monzo. But we have to realize that what they're showing the public is 50 to 60 years behind what the technology they're actually using. And so once we can grasp that concept and to understand the depth of the evil, I mean, they know no limits, right? As far as defiling humanity. And so I think we have to understand, okay, this is busy happening. But, one of the things that I hope we have time for at the end is I always want to leave people with hope, because, as we're about to dive into some of this mind control technology and uncover some things, it can get pretty dark. And I don't want people leaving like, just overwhelmed. I always like to bring that hope, because Jesus